Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're talking about toys, but let's be clear, this is not child's play. We're actually going inside a multi-million-dollar economy that's been built around this one little elf-like character with these big eyes and, well, very prominent teeth.
Right, so this is the question at the heart of it all. Why are perfectly rational adults setting their alarms for 3 a.m. and standing in lines that stretch for blocks just to get their hands on a toy? It seems crazy, but there's a reason.
And this isn't some small niche thing. I mean, the media is literally calling it a mania that's gripping the country like nothing before. And the little guy at the center of it all, that's Labubu. He was created by an artist named Kassing Long and then blown up into a global phenomenon by the art toy giant Pop Mart. They've mastered the art of turning these ugly, cute creatures into a full-blown cultural moment.
So how on earth does a little monster spark this kind of frenzy? Well, and this is the key, it is not an accident. It's a brilliantly designed system. And to really get what's going on, we have to look at the anatomy of this whole economy.
Okay, first, just to give you a sense of scale. The total addressable market for the Labubu economy, just in Australia, is estimated to be around $25 million. That's a lot of money. That's the engine that's getting people out of bed in the middle of the night. This has gone way beyond just collecting toys. We're talking serious cash.
So this entire economy really stands on three legs. You've got the primary market, which you can think of as the hype engine. Then there's the secondary market. That's the value realization engine. And finally, the ancillary market, which is all about enhancing that value. They all work together.
Everything kicks off here, in the primary market. Pop Mart and its official partners, they're the gatekeepers. They use these limited edition drops and the whole blind box thing, where you literally don't know which toy you're getting, to purposefully create scarcity and massive FOMO. Their entire job is to light the fuse. And then, once these toys are out in the wild, the secondary market just takes over. This is where the economic potential really explodes. You see it all over Facebook groups and eBay. Collectors are buying, selling, and trading like crazy, either to complete a set, hunt down one specific character they love, or, let's be honest, to flip a rare one for a big profit. And the profit margins can be absolutely staggering. I mean, look at this. This is the arbitrage opportunity in action. A little pendant that sells for $32 retail, you can flip that for a markup of around 115%. That exciting Macron set you bought for $192, its value can jump by nearly 140% on the resale market. And then you have something like the Time to Chill plush that has seen resale prices go up over 800%. 800! That's just pure supply and demand. But why? What makes somebody willing to pay those kinds of prices? To really understand the money, you first have to understand the mind. It is all driven by the psychology of the chase.
You know, the real secret sauce here is the blind box itself. It works on this psychological principle called a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the exact same mechanic that makes slot machines so compelling, so addictive. That feeling of uncertainty, the anticipation, the thrill of finally opening it, it just floods your brain with dopamine.
So you might be asking, well, if it's like a slot machine, why doesn't it have the same social stigma as gambling? And that's the genius of it. Because unlike a slot machine, you always get something. You walk away with a tangible physical toy. You can't lose everything, you just might not get the exact one you were hoping for. The whole thing is designed to feel completely harmless.
And Pop Mart has engineered this chase to perfection. In every single series of toys, they'll hide an ultra-rare secret or chase figure. And what are your odds of actually finding one? Usually it's about 1 in 144. It's that specific engineered rarity that turns a simple toy into a treasure.
But this goes way beyond just a personal thrill. It's deeply social. Finding a rare one is a massive status symbol. It's a flex, pure and simple. And you know, the randomness of the blind box isn't a bug, it's a feature. It practically forces people to interact, to trade, to build communities. For so many collectors, especially those between 18 and 35, these aren't just toys on a shelf. They're fashion accessories. They're a way to express who you are.
So whenever you have a community this big and this passionate, it always creates another huge opportunity. A whole new wave of businesses is popping up, and they're not selling the toys, they're servicing the hobby.
You could call it the ancillary gold rush.
And this is where things get really creative and interesting. You've got people making custom, bespoke little outfits and even tattoos for their figures. People are buying premium acrylic display cases to protect their investment. There are even services to help you spot counterfeit Labubus, they call them Lafufus. And get this, toy doctors who specialize in restoring damaged, high-value figures.
This ancillary market really breaks down into 4 pretty clear business models, and each one solves a different problem for the collector. If you want to solve for trust and liquidity, you build a resale marketplace. If you want to lean into the thrill of discovery, you launch a curated subscription box. For the serious collectors who need to manage their huge collections, you could build a software platform. And for the superfan who wants something no one else has, you open an artisan studio and focus on pure craftsmanship. Okay, but all of this, the money, the time, the energy, it all leads to the single biggest, most important question of all. Is this just another fad? Is this whole $25 million ecosystem built on a house of cards that's just waiting to collapse? Everyone's mind immediately goes to Beanie Babies, right? That massive craze and then the epic collapse. But Pop Mart seems to have learned from history. See, Beanie Babies depended entirely on one single IP, and it all came crashing down when they made too many. Pop Mart, on the other hand, is what you'd call IP agnostic. They're a platform. If Labubu starts to fade, that's okay. They have a whole bench of other huge characters like Skull Panda, Molly, or Demu ready to step in. And that right there brings us to the biggest takeaway. The smartest move, the real venture opportunity, isn't necessarily in betting on Labubu the character. The real sustainable play is in building the infrastructure, the platforms, the services, the tools that serve the fundamental human behavior of collecting. That behavior doesn't go away, even if the hot toy of the moment does. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question to think about. Is this incredibly sophisticated psychology-driven model the actual future of collecting? Or is it just the world's most valuable, most beautifully designed fad? I guess we'll find out, one blind box at a time.